Hello everyone and welcome back to The Little Quilter. Today we are going to be starting on the second month of the Pas De Deux quilt. If you've missed the first month of this block of the month sew along that I'm doing, then check out my sew along videos and all of those will be listed in there, and they are listed as Pas De Deux block month 1. And this time around though, before we jump into the second month, I wanted to show you guys what all I had completed last month and sort of lay it out so that we can kind of see this quilt building as we go. So let's jump into that. Okay, so just giving you guys an idea of what this is looking like at the moment. So this is only month 1 of the Pas De Deux quilt, and this is what all the pieces, if I were to piece them all together, would look like. But I'm not going to piece anything together for the moment. I'm going to keep it in all the separate parts so that I can follow the directions on how to assemble everything properly. But I think it's turning out pretty good. Okay everybody, so I have finally got all of my blocks cut and I'm hoping that this works out. So the colors that were recommended to choose were a peach and a teal. And so I've used a lot of blue already, and so I ended up going more towards the green side of teal rather than the blue side of teal. And I did have a few peach-like colors to choose from in my color selection of fabric. So something more along those lines was a little bit more peach, but then it gets a little bit more orange. So, and then as we go, it gets a little bit more neutral. I'm hoping that this works out, so we'll have to see how it goes. But I'm basically going to go and sew a bunch of half square triangles now. So let's do that. Okay everybody, so I've completed all of the half square triangle blocks, and I have worked really hard throughout the entire process of sewing, ironing, and squaring them up to keep them in order. So this is running from the lightest fabric to the darkest fabric here throughout all of these, and that is because this Sawtooth star is going to be a gradient, so working from the darkest color in with the star point and then going out to those lighter colors. And I'm still a little bit nervous. You know, I think the color choices are pretty, and as you guys know, I love laundry basket quilts, but I still am a little bit nervous just because I do think this is a little bit out of the color palette that I would normally have picked, but I think they're gonna work, so let's see what happens. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is set my center block here, and this may end up being a little bit larger than the space that I have, but we'll see how it works out. So let's start laying some of these out. Okay, so I've got this. Wow. I literally did not notice that until just now. That's not right. Okay, I gotta fix that. Wow. That's so bad. How did I not notice that? Let me fix that. Okay, back. Fixed it. Hey, there's a Sawtooth star, right? So, fixed my little mess up. Changed the layout of a little bit, but it was a scrappy block to begin with, so I'm not really worried about it. So the rest of it is going to be filling out the rest of this Sawtooth star and completing this part of the block. Now, we've already done this blue part, which this is why I went more green tone, because I've got all of this blue here, and I didn't want to just end up with the same blue color. I wanted it to be a little bit more separate and a little bit more punchy, which I think it's going to be. So hopefully, though, the colors turn out okay. I'm going to keep going. Okay, everybody, so a few little mess ups along the way, but was able to correct them. The worst one being, I don't even remember what side it was, but one of these sides where I had flipped this center around. So the star block just sort of, I was looking at the spokes of the stars instead of the color of the stars, but I think that this turned out pretty good. I know that we have this pattern up here. This is part of the pattern where it's going to go into a checkerboard, I think. And then we have the rest of this really beautiful sawtooth star. Now, I'm going to be honest in that part of me, after doing this sawtooth star, kind of wants to do an entire sawtooth star quilt pattern with Edyta Sitar's fabrics. Just choosing this, contrasting colors. Doesn't even have to be these colors. I just think her fabrics are so gorgeous that I think that would look so pretty to do a very similar pattern, but just doing this and maybe a border around each star with one of her sort of neutral or cream tones. I think that would be so pretty. So file that one away of the quilts to do that's like 20 miles long. But there is still a bottom portion that I'm going to work on doing. It doesn't actually attach to this piece, which is fine. Okay, so as always, if you guys are interested in doing this block of the month and getting the measurements and everything, then you need to check out down below I listed. It's the Pas De Deux Quilt by Rachel Hauser. It was a block of the month, but you can now get them all in one go. And I am just slowly working through them, making this quilt. And I am using the Edyta Sitar fabric line. I love her fabric. It's all of the fabric lines just kind of mixed together. And even though I was really worried about that, I think that it does actually turn out really well. It's not quite the teal and peach color that it was supposed to be, but I think this is one of my favorite blocks I've done so far for this quilt. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying the videos. If you want to see more of something, let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.